Ireland won't let Morgan into Ireland. And as you can see, we're not in Morgan here, so I need to explain to you about that.
I'm feeling quite nervous about this whole trip.
It's a bit daunting. Things look different. We're going to take the risk. This is going to be bloody brilliant. Have we been scammed?
I absolutely love this bar, and I've only been here for about 60 seconds.
Welcome back to the channel. We're Janine and Liam Day, a married couple who have been doing full-time van life in the UK for the last 2 years. We've just returned from Scotland and are straight on the road again, this time heading on a very special adventure. Yes, we are finally going to Ireland. There are unfortunately some twists to this adventure in the beginning as we head first to Ireland's incredible capital city, Dublin.
Welcome back to the channel. We are finally going to Ireland. I know that we're definitely going to Ireland because this is the road that's taking us onto the ferry. So we're in Liverpool and we are heading to Dublin. I've never been to Dublin nor Ireland before at all. Janine's only been as a baby. So this is a mega trip of a lifetime for us, and we're so friggin' excited. If it wasn't for thinking about have we got everything and all the rest of it, I'd be like uncontrollable right now. But there's a lot of changes that have happened. As you can see, we're not in Morgan here, so I need to explain to you about that. But first, we need to get on the ferry.
We made our way to the ferry, which will take us from Liverpool straight to Dublin, costing £300 return for 2 people and 1 vehicle. We found out upon arrival that we get free meals during the trip.
Ooh. That's what we're looking at, that's the vegan breakfast. That's the extent of the vegan breakfast on the P&O ferries. It's not too bad.
No.
In fact, you get vegan sausages as well, is bloody winner. And vegan butter.
Our breakfast consisted of hash browns, 3 sausages, beans and toast, and teas and coffees. It was actually really nice. We ate our breakfast whilst leaving the docks of Liverpool, enjoying the scenery whilst we're near land. Later they served tomato soup with bread for lunch, and for dinner a mix of jacket potatoes, spring rolls and scones and jam. We chilled in the lounge until finally arriving in Ireland, landing in the ferry port of Dublin.
Really windy.
Yeah.
There it is, there's Ireland. Okay, so we have arrived. The boat has actually just stopped, so we'll be getting off in the next few minutes, I think. And we are in Dublin, so the ferry goes all the way to Dublin, and we will be heading straight off to the city centre, where we're going to try and find a park up. We have no idea if it's possible. We hear it's actually quite difficult, so yeah, a little bit nervous about that. In fact, although I'm so excited to be here, I'm feeling quite nervous about this whole trip, and I don't know why, but I am. I've got like a little bit of butterflies in my stomach. So yeah, we'll just see how that goes. But anyway, our first stop is Dublin city centre to try and find a park up.
If you didn't already know, I'm actually half Irish, as my mum is from a small town right in the centre of Ireland called Westmeath, near Mullingar. I've only been to Ireland when I was a small child, so I don't really know it at all, apart from the stories my mum tells me about her childhood. For all these reasons, this is a trip of a lifetime for me, and I'm looking forward to learning more of my heritage.
It down. Time to go, time to get off this boat.
So we're back in the van now, waiting to disembark. Whilst we're waiting, I thought I'd let you know what the hell's going on with this van. Obviously, this isn't our campervan, Morgan. Unfortunately, Ireland won't let Morgan into Ireland. Reason being is that he's overweight, or he's too easily overweight. He's not currently overweight, but it's too easy for him to go overweight. Anyone who's got a campervan, a large campervan, will know what we're talking about. He's a heavy vehicle, and we broke down twice recently where we needed a new alternator and different things. When that happened, I got on a weighbridge at the mechanics, and I was quite shocked to see that Morgan was overweight. Obviously, we don't have free access to weight bridges, so I would know this more often. I always thought that we managed to keep it under by being really scarce with what we have quite a minimal van despite the space. Anyway, he was overweight, so what we did was we got rid of a load of stuff out of him and then made sure that he was on the border or just a little bit below, and then we parked Morgan up. Unfortunately, Morgan wasn't in a good place to be carrying lots of fuel and lots of water, so an Irish trip, an island trip, a long one, is out of the question. We desperately wanted Morgan to come to Ireland with us, so I did everything I could. We both did everything we could to make sure that happened. So we got him mechanically uprated. He's got some heavy duty leaf springs on the back. We did that before we went to India actually, but I put off the C1 licensing that I would need to drive more than 3.5 tons vehicle, because the government was supposed to be giving everyone with a car license access or the authorization to drive up to 7.5 tons. They never got around to doing it, so I had to bite the bullet and do it myself. So over the last 2 weeks, in speed style, those happy days Liam speed style, I've done provisionals, health checks. I passed 3 theory tests, one of them including hazard perception, the other one being a 100-question multi-choice one, and the other one being a case study one. I passed all 3 of them, and then I got onto and booked a last-minute C1 licensing course so I could take my practical. So that involves 3 lessons and a practical test. I did half of that test already, so a reversing one. I did that on the first day, passed that, and then I took all my lessons all the way up to the night before the actual practical test, and then guess what bloody happens? The brakes went on the Iveco that we were driving. The test vehicle that I'll be driving the next day, the brakes went on it. It was so unlucky. We're starting to see all of our unluckiness as opportunity, but it meant that I couldn't pass my test before coming to Ireland. The good news is, out of all of that, is that I knew that even though I might have passed my test and got my C1 license before coming to Ireland, Morgan would not be ready still, because there'd be a load of paperwork to fill out for him to get uprated officially. So in the meantime, what we did was I spoke to the guys that hired this van that we hired him over Christmas, this beautiful, wonderful VW T6 that we love dearly, that we've driven before, and they kindly said, we've got it for enough time that you're in Ireland, which is amazing. That was the lucky part. So it meant that even though we've got such a tight window for coming to Ireland, that we could still come. If it wasn't for this van, Ireland would not be on the card, and we would have had to cancel and reschedule for a 3rd time. That is the reason why we're driving a VW T6 in Ireland this time, and we're dead excited about it. There's some definite advantages to having this van over Morgan. There's some definite disadvantages to having this van over Morgan, but one of the big things is we get to cover quite a bit of distance and see a lot of things, and it's very economical on fuel. It's going to be a challenge still. It's a smaller space, but I think after that electrical camper van that we had in Scotland, I think we can do it. Anyway, they're about to let us off now, so let's go see Dublin.
Here we go. Okay, so we have officially landed on Irish soil, and yeah, we haven't really left the ferry port yet, but already there's a charge. We're being charged €10 to use the toll road, which I think we're automatically going on now. So that's really frustrating. But anyway, we're gonna figure this out and we're gonna get there.
It's a bit daunting. €10 charge for a tunnel straight away. And things look different.
So the tolls cost us €13 in total to get to the other side of Dublin. However, there was a way around the tolls had we known. We headed for a park up we found just out of the city.
What do you reckon?
Where we parked is at a park and ride tram stop, and we found it on Park for Night, and we'll tell you the reason why. Firstly, obviously, it's a park and ride, so we've got easy access to the city, which is just brilliant. The other reason being we're not in anywhere more scenic is because if you look at Park for Night for Dublin, quite a lot of the places, the park-ups, which there isn't many, have real high crime rates. People breaking into vans whilst people are in the vans, smashing windows and all that. Even this is not without one of those reviews, but it's the least worst, and it's a park and ride as well. So we're going to take the risk. We're not going to go ultra risky. We're just going to go with the lowest risk possible, because it's not our van as well. So I feel good about it, and it's €4 for 24 hours. So sweet. But we're going to stealth camp. We've got to stealth camp because we do not want any of the thieves around here or criminals or whatever to know that we're here. So we're not putting the pop top up or anything like that. We're going to keep proper stealth.
Okay, so just a quick tour of the van. I'm just going to explain what it's all about and why we love it so much. We've got a rock and roll bed, so that is just brilliant for space factor, to be able to push the bed up and have that extra room in the daytime, and then just pull it out really easily and make it up as a bed. That's just going to be brilliant. It comes with a mattress. We've already tested this out before. So a mattress, and it's really comfortable with all the bedding. So that's the rock and roll bed. We have got a gas hob for making our dinner and our cups of teas in the morning. We've got a fridge and freezer, loads of drawers full of cutlery and all the pots and pans that we need. The chair that I sit on when Liam's driving swizzles round, so we get that extra bit of room. The pop top goes up, and when that does, we could either use that as a bed, which I don't think we're going to do, but we're going to use it as storage instead. So, and the pop top's massive. So it really, like, I'm crouched down now because we're not popping it up, but when it goes up, it really makes this van absolutely huge. So that's really good actually. You've obviously got space at the back of the van and a diesel heater. That's going on every single morning, unless we get a heat wave. So we'll see.
So the camper van has got pretty much everything that we need. It does have a solar panel on top. We are going to try and go off-grid as much as possible. We don't want to be going to too many campsites. Ideally, we'd be doing a lot of free camping. We know that this solar panel feeds into just like a normal lead battery, so we are going to be using up the juice quite quickly, and we're an island and the sun's not always out. So thankfully, on this trip, this time round, we've got our secret weapon. It's not Janine's pink jacket. This is our secret weapon. The Jackery Explorer 2000 Plus. We are so pleased that this fits into this boot so tidily. So as you guys know, this is the latest and newest power bank by Jackery, and it's a friggin' game changer. Yeah, it's pretty big, but it does fit into the boot of a T6, and it's got some incredible features. We're talking now 3,000 watt output. That is huge. And a 2,000 watt capacity. So, and also with that capacity, if 2,000 watts isn't enough for you, you can buy extension packs to put on the back and just keep going with it. So you're going to have power for ages. If you're going off into the wilderness camping, this is the one for you. For us, on this trip and back in Morgan in our camper van, this is honestly all that we need. So it powers up to 99% of all devices, appliances, that sort of thing. So some incredibly powerful things. You've seen us with our blender back home. Out here, what we need it for are laptops, cameras, drones, phones, all that sort of thing, because we know we're going to be using most of the battery in the van itself. So without this, we will be staying at campsites all the time, and that's not something that we want to do. And yeah, it's also now got app functionality as well, so I can keep an eye on how much power it's got through the app, how much power is going into it when the solar's out. It comes on wheels as well, so if we wanted to wheel it off somewhere to the beach or whatever, and get the solar panels out down there and use it down there, we can. But for now, we are going to keep it in the back of the T6, where it conveniently charges up everything that we need it to do. We are so happy to have this with us on this trip and making it what it's going to be.
Feeling exhausted, we made up the bed, closed the curtains and chilled out, ready for a huge day in Dublin tomorrow.
I live down the road from Buddy's barroom. I got a running tab, it's done run away. Sometimes I think I'm whistling past the graveyard. Last night I got so drunk.
Right, okay, this actually is so far a pretty good park up. No crime, no nothing, no disturbances. We've done all right so far. We're taking full advantage of being at a park and ride, and we're going to catch the tram now into Dublin city centre, and that's when the festivities are going to start, and we're so excited. The wind's dropped, there's no rain, and the sun's come out as well. It's actually quite warm. This is going to be bloody brilliant.
So off we went, heading into Dublin city centre for the first time ever. Our park up location was so handy. We just grabbed a ticket for the tram to the centre, hopped on and made our way. We grabbed an all-day flexi ticket costing around €5, and it took just 20 minutes to reach the centre. Then we got our first glimpse of Ireland's capital city. It's the third smallest county in Ireland, but over a third of the country's population live here, 1.2 million people to be exact. It contains Europe's largest city park and over 130 rivers. It's the home to Guinness and famous actors such as Colin Farrell and writers such as James Joyce and Oscar Wilde, and musicians such as U2, Sinead O'Connor and Thin Lizzy. It's a cultural melting pot and we can't wait to experience it.
Oh my god, it feels so weird to be in Dublin. I've heard about this place my whole life. I've never been here, and I'm not actually sure what I was expecting, but it's really beautiful what I've seen of it so far. I'm just really looking forward to exploring it properly today.
The whole culture based on drinking, eating and having a good time. I'm bloody well up for it. Okay, we got a really exciting thing planned very, very soon. But first, we're going to go and find some of Dublin's finest, best food. Plant-based food, coffee and brunch.
On the outside, looking in, I really wasn't sure what I was getting. Between the high waves on the sea, waiting for something to get to me. I wasn't sure what I was hoping for, you see.
Okay, so this is half tofu, half beans. So half scrambled egg, vegan scrambled egg and half beans. Avocado cream, balsamic paste, crunched nuts and vegan parmesan on sourdough toast. Absolutely banging.
This food was absolutely delicious and we were stuffed. We did, however, finish with a pano chocolate before starting our tour of Dublin.
That was an absolutely incredible brunch. Recommend Cornucopia in Dublin if you're ever here. Fully plant-based, incredible food. Now we are going to go off and try and cross off some of the must-see places while you're in Dublin. The peak of that is going to happen in about half an hour's time when we've got a very special appointment somewhere. Have you guessed where we're going yet? And then later, well, let's just see how we go.
Keeping on.
Okay, so first on the list, you cannot come to Dublin without taking a look at St Patrick's Cathedral, and that's exactly where we're going now.
This is St Patrick's Cathedral in Dublin and was founded in 1191, making it well over 1,000 years old as a Roman Catholic cathedral and is currently the national cathedral of the Church of Ireland.
Okay, so right next to the cathedral is Ireland's very first and oldest public libraries, and that's where we're heading to now. And I don't know about anyone else, but I really love the idea of going into a bookshop and seeing books just stacked up, really old books, stacked up really high, big ladders, a little bit like Harry Potter style, and that's what I'm hoping for, but let's go and see.
There's no coincidence, 'cause you know
And please don't touch the books because they're about 300 to 500 years old.
Wow.
We opened in 1707. We're the first public library in Ireland. So if you have any questions about the history of the library.
Okay, thank you. So they're actual real books.
They're all real books. We're
No
still
way.
a public library, so they're still read all the time.
Are they? Oh, amazing. Thank you.
You're welcome.
My first thought when I came in here were, these are like fake, but they're actual real books, really, really, really old, and they do get rented out. Apparently people still read them. I couldn't imagine reading one of these books. I really would love to pick one up and look in it, but I'm not allowed.
Marshes Library in Dublin first opened to the public in 1707 and was indeed the first public library in Ireland. It has a collection of over 25,000 books and 300 manuscripts. It looks like something straight out of Harry Potter. We absolutely loved it.
That was amazing. That was like a proper oldie worldy bookshop, and then when you exit you end up in this gorgeous garden and there's flowers everywhere and it's just really, really pretty.
Bookshops and cathedrals to one side. Now we're going to Dublin's best thing, I think, that you could possibly do here. You don't go to Dublin and do this, what we're about to do, and then I don't think you can say you've been to Dublin. Let's go anyway, we're going to be late.
So we're literally walking down, I think this is like Guinness Street. The building's incredible actually, and yeah, but the first thing you notice as you walk down is the smell is really, really strong.
Like
really,
Marmite?
It is, it's like really kind of bitter kind of smell. So yeah, we're getting close to the entrance now, and that smell is probably going to get more pungent as we get closer.
The Guinness Storehouse, also known as the Guinness Brewery Tour, is ranked as the most visited tourist attraction in Ireland. Located on Dublin's St James's Gate, spanning over 7 floors, it's full of interactive information and nostalgia of the journey of Ireland's famous stout beer, and to this day over 3 million pints of the black stuff are brewed at this factory every single day. We headed to be entertained for the next 3 hours, which was remarkable as I'm usually quick to leave these kinds of places. After learning about the brewing process and drinking a Guinness mocha, it was time to do some actual tasting ourselves.
And welcome to the second Guinness Storehouse Tasting Room Experience. My name is Sebastian. I'm going to be your guide for this part of your tour here today. So you're going to start off with a big intake of breath through the nose. Not yet. So a big intake of breath through the nose. Generous mouthful of your sample. Wash it around your palate, and then once you're ready, swallow, keep the lips closed, and don't even open them an inch, and exhale through the nose, and an explosion of flavours will go out from your aroma. You're going to notice a roasting feeling for our lives, and it's only right that we ring the bell. I'm talking through it one more time. Hello. So big intake of breath through the nose. Generous mouthful of your sample. Wash it around your palate, and keep your lips closed, and exhale through your nose. Once you're ready, and you're going to get all that. Do you feel that?
Yeah.
And it's only right that we ring in the moment. So I'm going to ask you to come here and ring the last round in the Miranda Guinness. So once you're ready, and we're going to give her a massive round of applause once she rings it, because it's the best day of your lives. You become Guinness tasting experts. So once you're ready, you're going to ring the bell and celebrate the moment we all became Guinness tasting experts. So once you're ready, go for it.
Okay, you ready?
Are you causing trouble again?
I know. He totally picked on me, but I rang the bell and I closed the bar for the evening.
Opened it up. Open the bar.
Was it opened?
Well, no, for us it's opening.
I live down the road from Buddy's barroom. I got a running tab, it's done run away. Sometimes I think I'm whistling past the graveyard. Last night I got so drunk, I didn't even know my name.
What do you think? So that one's Liam's and it's kind of dripped over. That one's mine. It's got half a shamrock on it. Because Liam tried to do a shamrock, so I copied.
I did a heart. My heart for you, but I'm taking it back now.
Aww. I think we did okay.
Yeah. You win though, I'll give you that one because mine went over. That's just no good.
No, it's no good.
Delicious.
We finished our time at the Guinness factory by drinking our own poured Guinnesses, making American Guinness friends, admiring our certificates, then heading to the Sky Bar for more drinks, a bit of music and checking out the view from the 7th floor before deciding it was time to leave. We headed off to grab some food and make our way to the next location on our list.
It's not far off bedtime. It's been a long old day. But first, I want to go to the oldest pub in Ireland. No? Dublin. I'm going to get that right eventually. Dublin is an island, Ireland isn't Dublin. So that's where we're going first, and then we're going to the most iconic place in the whole of Dublin.
How much were the drinks, Liam?
It's expensive in Dublin. It is expensive. I've been trying to work out whether it's just me or whatever, but this is the oldest pub in Ireland apparently, and they're proper cashing it in. It's almost €8 a pint here. Couldn't believe it. Didn't find out until they poured it. Yeah. Bring some cash with you when you come to Dublin. When we leave this city, we're going to be on tight purse strings, Janine.
The Brazen Head is apparently Ireland's oldest pub, with services from this building dating back to 1198. This evening in summer 2023, it was full to the brim of people eating and drinking and having a good time. And it's nice to think that people have been meeting here like this literally for centuries. And let's hope for many more years to come. We finished our drinks and headed off.
Okay, food and drink at the oldest pub in Ireland done. Now we can't finish today without going to one of Ireland's most prestigious pubs, and that's where we're going now.
This is Temple Bar in Dublin, and it's the nightlife area in the city, and we are right smack bang in the centre of it. And this is probably the Graceland area. This is the thing, this is the centre point. The Temple Bar itself is the most award-winning pub in the whole of Ireland, and the biggest place for live music and nightlife, and we're about to go in there on a Friday night.
Liam managed to grab a couple of drinks, but when they wanted €10 for a pint, he was really confused. It was only later he found out that Temple Bar has the most expensive drinks at any pub in the country. We took one for the team and headed into the crowd of happy faces, singing in unison to Irish music. There's something incredibly special about a room full of drunk people singing along to old songs together. You forget quite quickly about the troubles of the world and even how expensive the drink you just bought was. Maybe that's the point. We came to Ireland in search of my heritage and to try to tap into a culture we know very little about. Music seems to be one of the best routes forwards, and we are glad to start this quest here in Dublin.
No, nay, never. No, nay, never, no more. We declare the world over. No, never, no more. And it's no, nay, never. 4. No, nay, never. 2. Will I play the wild rover? 1. No, never.
As we sang the night away in the world-famous Temple Bar, we decided it might just be a little too pricey to drink many more, so we made our way back to the van to get some sleep.
Being gentle with how we feel. There's a charge in the...
Good morning from Dublin's best park and ride car park. 2 nights in this car park now, and you know what? It's starting to feel like home. No, it's not. We are looking forward to getting out of car park territory and into some sort of more scenic environment. But yesterday, hats off to flipping Dublin, man. What a fun place. When you start the day off with 4.5 pints of Guinness, my God, it's only going to go one way, isn't it? I had a cracking time last night, singing. It was nice to see Janine having a couple of drinks as well, and she got a bit lightheaded. But we've both woke up a little bit late today, feeling a bit sort of slow. But we're looking forward to a really nice morning. We've got something so friggin' awesome planned for this morning in Dublin. Our last sort of thing before we leave. We might come back to Dublin, we don't know on the way back. But this thing, do you ever feel like a proper tourist whenever you go to a city and you can't help but not be a tourist because there's certain tourist sites to go to? Well, hopefully this is something completely alternative and different, and I think you're gonna like it. So let's go back into Dublin City.
Off we went to round off our Dublin experience with something a little different. Liam had booked us on a city tour to see the real Dublin. This isn't just any tour though. As it happens, there is an organisation set up to arrange tours where homeless people are your tour guides and show you around the city. You get to see a different perspective than that of a regular tour. The majority of the money goes to the guides. It seemed like an amazing enterprise and definitely something we wanted to support. We arrived and waited some more. However, much to our disappointment, nobody turned up.
Have we been scammed? Have we been scammed?
I don't know.
You would have thought by now that someone would be here. I think we've been scammed. We've been properly duped here. Man, why did I pre-book this? Bugger. The thing is, it looked legit. It absolutely looked legit. Like, I saw Google reviews of it saying how good it was, and being able to give money to a sort of like homeless organisation seemed like a really good thing to do. But no one's here, and it's like 15 minutes late. You know, we should be 15 minutes into the tour now. Should we wait 5 more minutes and then just go?
Yeah.
30 euros down the pan. Although if it does go to the homeless people, then it's good, but really they should provide the service as well, shouldn't they, that they said they should.
Yeah.
I'll try and get some word off them today, but how disappointing. Bloody scammed or duped in Dublin.
We headed off to another location, but luck wasn't on our side today, as the St Michin's Church, with real mummies inside, had been closed indefinitely and was obviously locked up when we arrived. So our third and final stop was something very unique, situated in a park. Surely a park on a Saturday morning won't be closed, so we were hopeful.
It's a Saturday morning. Do you expect a public park to be open? Of course you do, it's a Saturday. But I can see from inside the gate here, King's Inns Park. Park is open to the public Monday to Friday, 7:30 to 7 p.m. It's not open on the weekend.
You're
It's
joking.
mental. Can I tell you something that's really good though? What a silver lining to it all. That's the bad news. You know what the good news is?
Yeah.
The thing that I really wanted to see is just there in viewing distance.
Is that
Do you see
it? Oh my god, yeah.
This here, what we've come to see today is called the Hungry Tree. And it's bizarre, but we can see it just here. I'm so pleased. It's a tree that swallowed a bench. If you don't believe me, this is what it is. It's an actual tree that's grown round a bench, and it looks like the tree's swallowed it.
The tree is actually genuinely eating the bench. The back of the bench is being like taken over by the bark of the tree. It's really weird.
Okay, so whilst Janine tries to fit her head through these iron railings to go and see the Hungry Tree, at least we managed to go and see the Hungry Tree despite the park being closed on a Saturday. And the church being closed, and the homeless guy that didn't show up for our tour. Oh, what a funny morning it is. We've had a really good time in Dublin. I'm sure you've seen that. Had a great park up as well. That park and ride, we thoroughly recommend it. And now we are moving on to pastures new. I hope we get to come back and see some more of Dublin. If you've got any more suggestions for places we should go to, let us know. We are going to move on to our next destination. We haven't quite decided whether we're going to go north and go see Northern Ireland, or we go to the Wild Atlantic Way. What would you do? Where do you think we should go to next? It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a good one. Thank you for watching. If you like the video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video, some van life adventures in Ireland.
Just begun. We know what we have, let's hold on tight. Found what we're looking for in life. Call us crazy, but things are finally right. With you and I, the view